Welcome to Sammy and Marissa's Husbands podcast, coming at you live from the 818. Got a little This Day in History for you, a short one. I'm going to jump into an athlete, then we'll get down to business.
Yeah, get down to business. And live from the 818, we are in the same residence right now. Freaking making headway in our in-person pod. We haven't quite figured out the same room pod, but we're at least in the same residence pod. So we'll get some new equipment and we'll get back and better. But like Tyler said, this day in history, athlete, little start bench cut, some random questions, overview of the burning of CB, NBA playoffs, and then we got a couple extra things towards the end. But this day in history, not a whole lot going on. At least that was exciting. But in 1980, Mount Helens in Washington erupted, which is kind of wild because 1980 really isn't that long ago. And you really don't think like a volcano eruption is something that can actually happen to you. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of a wild concept.
Is it Mount St. Helens?
Yes.
Um, did people die?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Hmm.
Um,
I'll edit that part out.
we could, or that could just be notes for our fact checker to get back to us, and he can on the next episode he can just enlighten all these listeners with real facts.
After last episode, I don't know if he wants to fact check anymore.
I think we have to give him a redemption episode, and preferably sober.
Yeah.
Um,
I was just more or less talking about our last episode.
how accurate we were last episode, right? Yeah. He probably had to turn that one off. All right, but that's this day in history. You got an athlete for us?
Yeah. Multi-sport athlete today is Tim Tebow. Everybody knows him for basically for college football. You can make the argument, I think, top 5 college football player of all time. He was an absolute freak, 2-time BCS national champion, BCS national championship game MVP. He only won 1 Heisman. I feel like he should have won 2. There's that other year where he finished second. 2-time Maxwell Award, Davey O'Brien Award, Campbell Trophy, Sullivan Award, Manning Award, AP College Player of the Year, Sports Nation Player of the Year, Consensus All-American in 2007, second team All-American 2009, 2-time SEC Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time first team All-SEC, Florida Football Ring of Honor member, drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, pick number 25. Kind of a far drop for a guy who was that good in college, but people said there were issues with his throwing mechanics, couldn't throw the deep ball, not accurate. And all of those things were kind of true. He only had a 48% completion percentage in the NFL, passer rating of 75.3. He did have 12 rushing touchdowns, and he didn't really throw that many picks, 17 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He did have a amazing playoff win, comeback overtime win with the Broncos, and I believe he threw that just slant to Demaryius Thomas, who ran all the way down the field.
Yeah.
Retired from football in 2015. He played with the Broncos for 2 years, with the Jets for a year, member of the Patriots practice squad, and then Eagles practice squad. And then the multi-sport part of his career, he decided he was going to pick up professional baseball after having not played since high school. Played 5 years in the Mets farm system. He made it all the way to AAA. So, I mean, he was solid. Wasn't a great, batting average hitter. I mean, his highest batting average was in AA, 273, which, I mean, is solid. In AAA, he hit 163. So that next level, I'm guessing he probably couldn't catch it up to the off speed stuff. But 5 years all the way to AAA, came to spring training a couple times, hit over 10 home runs total in his minor league career, over 100 RBIs. He was a solid baseball player, especially after not playing since high school. And so he officially retired in 21, and then he came out of football retirement to try and play with the Jaguars as a tight end, but he didn't make it past training camp.
Yeah. Tebow's a legend, right? First things first, that touchdown he threw to Demaryius Thomas in the playoffs that year. Well, first of all, RIP Demaryius Thomas. But
Yes.
I thought that was the coming out of Tebow because that was like his second year, something like that.
First or second year, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, like all this BS about his throwing mechanics, and then he started praying, and God forbid you say a little prayer on the field. They'll butcher you for that. But man, I freaking love Tim Tebow. That's a competitor right there.
Yeah, he's one of the guys who in high school played a whole game with a fucking broken ankle.
Yeah, that's absurd. Talk about just like throwing your body out there.
No, he's a freak. I bet he's got CTE.
Yeah, he played a whole game with a broken ankle, and Drew was complaining about his knee hurt and playing 10 minutes of pickup today.
Well, Drew is not Tim Tebow.
They're both lefties.
I bet Drew shoots a better jump shot than Tim. Well, I don't know. Tim Tebow, who knows?
I bet it looks better.
Drew's definitely.
Yeah. I bet Drew's looks better.
I mean, Tim Tebow is a professional quarterback, and he doesn't even look like he could throw the football. So
yeah, it's true. He's too big. He's too big to throw a football.
yeah, I mean, he's honestly like fucking middle linebacker size, 6'3", 255.
It's absurd. It's funny. I've seen a picture of him and Eli Manning standing next to each other, and it's like one of these quarterbacks beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. And then you're looking at Tim Tebow versus Eli Manning, and Tebow's just standing there stacked out of his mind, and Eli Manning is wearing like cargo shorts tucked in with like a baby blue polo on.
I actually, that's a nice little segue. I have a bet with Drew about Eli Manning, and Drew doesn't think he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I do. So we'll see.
Yeah. Describe to the listeners what first ballot means. Basically, your first look.
So if most sports you have to be retired for 5 years, and if you make the Hall of Fame in your first year of eligibility, you're a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay, that makes sense. So like the first ballot, you are eligible. You are
first time your name's on the ballot.
I mean, it also has to do with who's in his class, right? Like,
yeah, only a certain amount of people will get in every year,
right?
But with stuff like basketball, football, there's an unlimited amount of time that you can get in. With baseball, if you don't get a certain percentage of the votes, they'll take you off the ballot. And if you don't get in within a certain amount of time, I think maybe you get 10 or 15 years on the ballot, then you're ineligible at that point, which I think is dumb as fuck. But baseball is a lot of questionable shit.
Yeah, that is true. Baseball's in a weird time right now. They really need to pick their shit up, or it's gonna. I mean, like basketball and football's always had a big market in America, but basketball is, I think, taking over the viewer market just because of, I think Adam Silver is an awesome commissioner, and he's making it very viewer friendly. Fast paced stuff like that. Baseball not fast paced. I know they're trying to speed it up with the pitch clock and stuff like that, but
and then the pitch clock leads itself to other stuff where pitchers are getting injured more because they throw at such a high velocity and they don't have the rest in between pitches. I think the MLB commissioner is the worst commissioner in sports. I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, he's definitely shitty. I'm not for the pitch clock. I think part of baseball is that it's slow. Yeah. And I get it. They want to speed up the game, but it doesn't make it that much more exciting. Like, I don't know.
The only thing I do like that they did is they made the bases a little bigger, so it increased stolen bases. I think that's an actual fun way to speed up the game without, potentially hurting somebody.
Yeah, I agree. I think increasing the stolen bases and rewarding play that's not a home run. Like I get it. Everybody likes to see home runs, but part of baseball is like that small ball aspect. And we got to
Yeah.
try and figure out a way to make that small ball aspect come in. So it's not
Yeah.
just dudes up there home run or strikeout, you know?
Yeah. I agree.
But moving on into next segment, we got to start bench cut again. Um, this start bench cut is going to be for both of us. We're both going to get our picks in, but I think we'll probably have similar answers. And it's going to be talking about going to the bars. And those three options are Carolina Beach bars, downtown bars, or Riceville Beach bars. We're going to throw in Might As Well as part of a Riceville Beach bars because
Yeah.
that doesn't really fit in, but it's in that little area. Um, so would you like to go first?
Yeah. I'll go first.
We can have some discussion a little bit on it. So, um, Carolina Beach has been more fun now that we've gotten a little older. Riceville Beach was more fun when we were younger, right? When we were looking for the fun dance music, the crowds and stuff like that. Riceville Beach was the way to go, and we really didn't have that much fun at Carolina Beach because it's a lot of standing around. Downtown, there's a little bit for everybody, which I think is something to be said, right? They have the dance clubs, they have the bars where you're just chilling. So that's that. Um, Carolina Beach is a little bit of older crowd, a lot more live music oriented. Um, so what you feeling?
For me, just this stage of our life, I'm gonna go start Carolina Beach, bench downtown, and cut Wrightsville Beach. Because downtown, I can still go downtown and have a really good time.
Yeah,
And but you know, it's not for me. I mean, there's a little too many people. I feel like downtown there's a lot more like fights and shit or people like arguing. Like I don't really care to do any of that now. And but Wrightsville Beach, I feel like I couldn't even go there because it's just college kids.
yeah, I feel that. And it is hard because we are in a certain life space right now. If you asked us this probably 5 years ago, we might have said Riceville Beach.
Yeah.
I think Riceville Beach is going to be my cut as well. It has its specifics, and we had some solid times doing the 22 North to what was the other place
It
before
was like,
Neptunes? 22 North, Neptunes, and then Red Dogs,
yeah,
and then
smacking a Vito's.
smacking Vito's Pizza right before we walked to find a taxi because Ubers were way too expensive. Um, I think on my bench, I'm going to take Carolina Beach. And I know
Yeah.
that might raise some eyebrows, right? Because we really go to is Carolina Beach now. And the reason for my pick is because Carolina Beach only has one thing, right? We always go to Sea Witch, we always go to Beach Bums, uh, then sometimes Silver Dollar, and then usually the Dive, and then Fat P. Like it's all like the same kind of concept, right? It's the same thing over and over again. Um, it's a great time, but I don't want that to be like my starter. Like I think downtown's going to be my starter because it has more options available. Like if I wanted, a little different type of music, I can go to a place like level 5 that's even there anymore, you know what I'm saying? But if I wanted like a low key place, I can just go into Blue Post and play some pool. Um, but but I think that's why it'd be my starter. I just think there's more options down there. And then bench, you got to have a heavy hitter off your bench, And we have some good times in Carolina Beach, so that's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah, I agree. Downtown does have some cooler bars, like with Blind Elephant. That's a cool spot. Um, the Poorhouse, is that the one where you go downstairs?
And well, no, that's Growlers, I think.
Oh yeah, Growlers, and then Poorhouse is the one with the wristbands.
Yeah, right. I forgot to mention Growlers. I love Growlers. It's like that might be like one of my favorite bars. I love Growlers.
Yeah, Growlers is solid. I'm thinking of Poor Tap Room is the other one.
Or Tap Room. Yeah, that's a good one. Um, anything where you walk down steps to get into, like big fan right here.
Mhm.
Big
I
fan.
feel like that's old school, like older style.
Right. I think it gives off the speakeasy type thing, like the same thing with the blind elephant. Um, and there's one bar that I can't think of that's another downstairs. It's across the street from Growlers, but it's off a little alley. Um, I'd think of it if I sat here and thought about it long enough, but
That's either poorhouse or poor tap room.
it's poor tap room then.
And
Um,
then no, poor tap room is the one with the wristband, I think, the red wristband. And then poor house is the one you walk downstairs.
whatever, dude. You pour something, I drink it. um, but yeah. So we'll have to. I think we're gonna do a segment on here. Not this episode, but maybe next week. We'll do a draft of best bars
In Wilmington?
in Wilmington or places that we've been together. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So like something that the group knows.
Right.
So it's not just like, oh, I went to this one bar in Missouri. It was sick. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll do that. We're primarily Wilmington, the greater Wilmington area focused. Um, but yeah, I think that'd be a fun little draft.
Yeah.
So let's do some random questions. You got two?
I'll give you two, but you
All
go
right,
first.
I'll go first. What's the best cheese to put on a cheeseburger?
The best cheese to put on a cheeseburger, like what I think the best tasting cheese is, or the best cheeseburger cheese.
You gotta interpret that however you want, but you're going to the grocery store because you're grilling out burgers, just you and Marissa, right? You're doing some
Mhm.
red meat, right? Or it could be a turkey burger, however you want to swing it. But you're going to the grocery store and you're splurging. You don't care about money, and you're just like, this is the cheese I want.
Oh, I'm just gonna go. This is not my favorite kind of cheese, but the best cheeseburger cheese, yellow American.
Okay, okay, that's fair. I'm going Colby Jack all day.
It's good cheese.
Good cheese, and I like the way it looks. I like the way it tastes. I'm all about it.
All right. I got a random one. This is very random.
Okay.
Who do you think wins in a fight? The Teletubbies or Barney?
So I've seen online places where the Teletubbies are like giant, but I would imagine Barney's pretty big too. There's been some suspect shit that Barney's done involving kids, I feel like. So with that, and we talking like multiple Teletubbies? Like, are they jumping Barney? Because if that's so, then I take
Four on one.
4-on-1 the Teletubbies all day.
I don't know.
Barney's got little
Barney's a,
T Rex. Barney's got little
Barney's
T
a
Rex arms,
dinosaur, dude. He's a dinosaur.
right? But he's got little T Rex arms, right? Teletubbies are just gonna piece him up. They're gonna stay on the outside and just jab away.
Okay.
That's my pick.
All right.
All right, next random question. If you could speak any other language, what would it be?
Probably Italian just to like get in touch with my roots. But I mean, the most logical answer would be Spanish, just based on the amount of Hispanic people that live in the country. I think it's a good skill to have job wise. But for me, it would be Italian.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense heritage wise. I was debating this and I was thinking I would want to speak a language where in a place that I would want to be able to visit. Like
Yeah.
so when I go to another country, it's like easy to get around. So I was thinking about those places and Spanish really kind of comes up first, especially because a lot of different countries speak Spanish. So you have the Mexico, you have South America, you have actually Spain. And then also I was thinking like in Europe, like a lot of people speak German as their second language. So if like they're in Italy, they might speak Italian, obviously, but then also speak German because it's kind of a widely used language. So I think German would be high on my list, just because in that Eastern Europe area, like a lot of people understand German. But I think I'm gonna go with Spanish. I think I'm gonna go with Spanish first.
Yeah, Spanish is what are the Romance languages? Spanish, French,
Italian.
Romanian, Italian, and Portuguese.
Yes.
any of those because I feel like they're widely spoken. Um, or, you know, fucking Chinese. Like so many people speak Chinese. I mean, granted, not as many people in America, but there's well over 1 billion people who speak Chinese.
That's fair. And shit, everybody might be speaking Chinese here soon.
Yeah, once they come to collect the money we owe them, who fucking knows, dude?
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing I like crab rangoon, brother. I would like to go to. This is a little off topic, but uh, I think I would really like to go to Japan. But China seems like it would be cool too if you could safely travel there. I'm not sure how it works, and I know Japan. A lot of Americans go to Japan, but I don't know if China's as safe for us. But I think it'd be cool to visit one of those countries.
I think it's I think it's probably safe. I think it's probably a little weird. I know Sammy's been to China. Her dad was stationed in Korea. They went to China for like a little vacation. This is a while ago as well. So who knows? They might hate us now. But Japan, I think, I don't know. I don't really know tons about China's tourist. Like I know they have big cities and stuff like that. Japan just like when I picture Japan in my head, it looks prettier in my head. Like I feel like they have nice flowers.
Japan has the most populated city in the world, also.
True,
It's
true.
like
I
there's
feel
like
like there's
over
a lot of like countryside and
yeah,
things like that in Japan.
like 40 million people live in Tokyo. So,
That's wild.
all right, last question, or who knows? Maybe we'll just do this the rest of the episode. Random question: Your favorite? Is it gonna put you on the spot a little bit? Favorite Star Wars movie? Because you've seen all of them, right?
Yeah. Um, um, that's pretty tough because I feel like the easy answer is episode three.
That is that is the easy one.
It's probably the best one.
In my opinion, it's the best one.
Um, I kind of like the older, like the prequels.
Like the ones we grew up on.
So like four, five, and six.
No, those are that's the original trilogy.
I thought those were called the prequels. I don't know.
The prequels are 1, 2, and 3 because
They're pre.
they
Okay, that makes sense.
they're it's like made after, but they come before.
Yeah. Episode three, I think, was like the most iconic. And that was also like when film started getting really good at effects and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
like that lightsaber battle with
right.
Obi-Wan. Thinking,
Yeah. I think if somebody said like, "Hey, I've never seen Star Wars," like what's the best movie? I'd probably show them um number three. What's the one with Luke and Yoda and he's like teaching them how to use the Force and they're in like the fucking jungle.
Empire Strikes Back.
Is that what?
It's 5.
I think that might be. I like that one.
That's like widely regarded as the best one,
Oh, really?
like critically, and a lot of fans think that. I mean, for me, I love the prequels because I grew up on them. Like I like Phantom Menace. Like a lot of people hate that movie.
Is that one?
Yeah, that's the one with like Jar Jar Binks and the
I like that
pod
one.
race.
I like that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you handled that nicely. Pick
Thank
two
you.
good.
Yeah. I've seen the movies. I just don't obsess over them like you guys do. All right. So if you've been listening, you know that we've been discussing burning down Carolina Beach. And for those of you that don't understand what burning CB to the ground means, is we run Carolina Beach. Like we basically own it. There's really no debate. We show up there, everybody turns heads. It's just a fact. But that typical route is kind of what we talked about earlier in the episode. We hit Sea Witch for some live music. Sea Witch closes at midnight, so we're never there that long. Usually hit Beach Bums. Beach Bums is cash only, so everybody goes to the ATM and spends a $3 charge fee to get 20 bucks out. And we get a bunch of Jello shots for everybody, which is always fun. Always a 16-ounce PBR because what else are you drinking in Carolina Beach? That makes sense. And then we usually hit the dive, which is a little bit more hip hop type style bar. And also like we tend to know people in the dive, so it's kind of a fun environment. And that's usually where we end. Sometimes we hit a Fat Pelican, which if you've never been to Carolina Beach, you need to go to the Fat P. It's just one of those random mandatory stops. But I'd say we succeeded burning CB to the ground. What do you think?
Yeah, it's in ashes. Um, there's no more Carolina Beach.
Until
I
next one, of course.
Yeah, and of course until the next time we go out. And we were also there this morning playing basketball and getting coffee. Um, it's just always a good time.
It's always a good time, and we're always just so like I don't even care if we're not trying to get drunk. And honestly, that's the times we get more drunk is when we're really not trying. But somebody always buys shots, and then the shots keep coming, and they're always a mixture of crazy shots. Drew bought us some Jaeger bombs last night, right when we got there. I wasn't tipsy enough to have these Jaeger bombs yet, and Allie knew the bartender, so we're standing next to Allie, like he obviously knows we're with her, so he hooks it up, and man, that was like a full drink of a Jaeger bomb. I thought I
Dude,
thought
I
Wes,
saw that.
I thought Wes was going to put it back in the cup, if you know what I'm saying.
I that bartender's actually cool. He's a Jets fan and he recognized me. He was like, "Jets?" I was like, "Yes, sir." So he was hooking me up with they didn't have vodka for pineapple upside down shots, but he gave me like Malibu rum instead, and it
Yeah,
ended up
nice.
ended up tasting better. So
Is that what you asked? You asked the gayest shot, and he gave you pineapple upside down.
no, but that should have been the answer last week.
That definitely could be up there for.
But it's so good.
I
And
don't think I've
then
ever had one of those.
it's like pineapple juice, vodka, and like red grenadine.
Oh, okay.
And then one of the bartenders, she was making me, I ordered five of them. And I was like, hey, just, put a little extra grenadine in one of them. I want my shit sweet.
And then did she say,
Yeah, she did. She did say something. Allie was like, the shot is literally sugar. You don't need extra. And then the bartender was like laughing at me.
"Yeah, I know
So
she was thinking."
she was like, oh, shit's sweet around here. And ain't shit sweet around here, girl.
Oh man, so he's a Jets fan, aka he's when the fall comes around, he's pretty seasonally depressed as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're going on what Super Bowl was it this year? 50,
50
50
something.
something. Yeah, we're going on 50 plus years of seasonal depression for Jets fans.
That's pretty brutal. Yeah, it's pretty brutal, but we had a good time. I think I was hurting this morning, man. Uh I was hurting big time.
I was good. I was good. I didn't take as many shots as you though.
My head hurts, and like when you have a headache so bad that your face hurts. You know what I mean? Like it felt like my whole face was just throbbing, and I was like, ugh. And then Marissa asked me if I wanted medicine, or you asked me if I wanted medicine, and I was like, no, medicine is for bitches. And then Marissa asked me, and I was like, yes, please. Because that sucked. But I had a good time. It was nice. It was nice hanging out with all you guys. And then we got up this morning, got some lunch, some breakfast, and then we went and played a little basketball. We went down to the outdoor courts in Carolina Beach because now, for some reason, the CB Rec Center has wrestling on Sundays. Like I thought this was America.
Yeah, we could have went in there and said something, but we didn't really want to get tossed around and get a staph infection or whatever happens out on the mats.
Yeah, some about
Um,
AIDS or something like that.
yeah, I don't know why I said that. I grew up wrestling, but former third place Rockland County right here, third grade.
I mean, allegedly.
I have the medal, dude.
Yeah, I could get that medal at a pawn shop.
Anyway, played a little played a little 21 warm up. A little
21. Can you please?
21. Oh, I was doing something else. I was doing 21.
It'd be like that.
longest game of 21 ever, probably. Because you could not hit three to win the game.
Not true. I could hit the three, but for some reason you guys kept making the match, and I couldn't make the second three.
So I ended up winning because because when I got there, nobody called match, and I just put it away because I was ready to be done.
No, I think what you should say is nobody called match because we were ready to be done and we were hoping you made it. I think I shot the 21 shot 7 times
And no win.
and no wins. But it was fun. It was a nice little warm up. 21 is always a good way to do it if you're not, have more than one person, but less than 5.
Yeah.
Too many people, 21 gets a little crazy. But then we played a little King of the Court, played 2 games to 7 King of the Court. You won one, I won the other. Let's just face it, you got lucky on the first one. If I was actually playing, you wouldn't have won.
Okay. Check the footage, and we will be putting the footage out. We're gonna launch a Twitter page, and I think we're gonna do a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I think we might. Now I will tell you, really pay attention when we look at this footage, and you will see that every time I guard Tyler, he just shoots a 3, and every time Drew guards Tyler, he goes at him. So Drew, I think Tyler sees you as a little bit of a liability out there in the defensive end. So I need you to just punch him right in the face next time.
I go at Drew because I know he's too quick for me on the perimeter. I have to post him up. It's actually respectful that I go at him. And I'm disrespecting you by shooting the 3 in your face because I'm like, okay, he's 6'2", 6'3", long arms, and he still can't block this shit. So I'm gonna cash it out in his mouth. And that's what I did the first game.
Yeah. You went on a nice little run in the first game. You had about I think 5 in a row. You scored on me, scored on Drew, scored on me, scored on Drew. Given those 3 that you scored on me were just threes because you're scared to dribble the ball against me because I'm just going to block it. And you're going to say some real suspect shit after I block it.
But put your hand up, hand down, man down.
No, I mean, props to you. You made the shots. You know what I mean? You made the shots, and you gotta make shots to win, and you made shots, so you won.
It sounds like, this is just my unbiased opinion, that you were upset about it and you turned it up a little bit in the next game.
Yeah, I mean, I decided to stop settling. If you were going to beat me, you were going to beat me while I was attacking the rim. So I may have given a couple people a little extra shoulder than might have been necessary, but sometimes it is what it is.
That's it. When you're going downhill, it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Well, because I give you the space because I don't want to get beat. But
Right.
Then you get that space and you still don't shoot the jump shot, then you just run right through me.
Right. And that's so a lot of times you give me the space. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make him step up. So I'm going to shoot jumpers. And if the jumper's not falling, then I have to resort to plan B, which is get as much of a head of steam downhill as possible and make you just not want to take it in your chest.
Yeah, it's violence.
But yeah, I think it was fun. It was fun. Drew obviously would have won game 3 because if we would have played. So
I mean, but it's our podcast. We can't have him winning, so we had to cut it off.
Exactly. We knew he was going to win, so we were like, yeah, no thanks. Actually, in the big scheme of things, the only reason we stopped playing, we probably would still be out there playing, but our wives were like, yeah, it's time to go. And then we got some iced coffees at this place in Carolina Beach called The Vault. Shout out The Vault. They'll give you free milk if you get cookies, so make sure to ask.
I didn't even get a coffee, actually. I got a chai. I got a tea, an iced tea.
Interesting. I didn't realize that.
Chai tea, yeah. Which I think just means tea, because I think chai means tea.
Yeah, but there's something about the flavor of chai. It's different. I'm not sure. Sammy gets the dirty chai shit. What's the difference between chai and dirty chai?
I think dirty chai doesn't have milk or something.
Interesting.
I don't know. Your brother will tell us.
True that. Take some notes, kid. Speaking of kids, the kid came out.
Austin?
Yeah, he came out last night. It was nice to see him. Um,
Yeah, he was pretty sauced.
yeah, he's pretty sauced. Yeah. I think he gets skinnier every time I see him.
Yeah, he's like 6'8" now.
He gets taller and skinnier every time.
Mm.
But no, it's cool that he's in town now. Um, Still pissed at Nick for not coming. He was probably at the old cat playing some pool.
He was at the cat with his mom.
That's fair. I mean,
I will not ever go back there.
really,
There's
riff raff.
too much, threats of gun violence and uh other shit. I got too much stuff going on to risk any stupid shit.
Yeah, I feel like that's the place. It's always like a weird environment in there. Also, it brings an odd crowd. And to me, it's not fun enough of a place. They don't have good enough drink specials for me to go in there and like argue with some like fat, out of shape guy that has nothing going for him in his life. You know?
Yeah, it's just. And then last time I was there, some dude said he was like, "Get out of my way, fatty," and then I got in his face, and it was just awkward. Like, why are you calling me fat? You don't know me.
Yeah, that's
You
just
can't,
it's
and you
weird
can't,
behavior.
and you can't guard me.
Definitely can't guard me. It's just weird behavior. You know what I mean? Like, how many times have you just got your ass whipped for saying something like that to somebody? Because I'm sure he wasn't the epitome of health.
Yeah, he was just a skinny little dude. I'm like, read the room, buddy.
Read the room. Honestly, I wish you would have beat his ass.
I should have, honestly. I should have, but I was there, and then he started talking to Corey and Wes, and Corey and Wes put him in his place too. So it was like awkward.
Yeah, you should have beat his ass. I would have liked to seen that. Sometimes you just got to take the assault charge.
Yeah, I don't know. That's I don't know if that'll look great for my real estate career. Hey, I beat the fuck out of somebody at the bar,
I
and
think they'll understand.
now I have now I have a rap sheet, bro.
You got to do what you got to do. But with that, I think we're gonna take a little break for a commercial. Up next, we have a little bit of the NBA playoffs, a couple bold statements, and then we'll wrap it up. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you when. Oh, we're not done. We're doing a commercial. So yeah, we'll be back.
I'm
Peace.
leaving it in.
Have you or someone you know ever suffered from anxiety? Well, luckily, there is a new cure for it, and it's just to stop fucking worrying about it. Believe it or not, folks, it's not real. It's all in your head. And if you need help figuring that out, call 910 262 for professional medical advice on how to get the fuck over it.
All right, and we're back after a nice commercial break. Jumping right back into it, a little NBA playoffs. So we're sitting here watching the game, and as we speak, the T-Wolves just beat the Nuggets, coming back from 20 down. Did not think they had it in them, but they came back.
They look dead in the water. And Ant, Cat, Rudy just pulled them out.
Yeah, Tyler's sitting here. We're in the same room trying this out, so if the audio is a little messed up, we apologize. But there's a TV screen on right now, so we'll see how much Tyler can actually focus. But yeah, great game to watch. They'll be matched up with the Mavs next series. Wednesday that starts. Of course, it's probably going to be late games because I feel like they always are.
That's going to be a good series. I think it's going to be hard for the Timberwolves to stop the Mavs on offense, but the Timberwolves play good defense, and the Mavs really only have two options. So
Who's going to guard Ant? PJ Washington?
probably Ant can guard Luca or McDaniels. You know,
I think you got to put McDaniels on him because Luca's too big for Ant. Pause.
Yeah, no Diddy. Yeah, I think they'll probably put McDaniels on him just because they don't want Ant to expend all that energy. Because it's a lot of guarding the other team's best player and then still trying to be the primary scorer on offense. I'll tell you what, I'm taking Ants over every single game when they play the series because I don't think they have anybody that can stop him.
No, PJ Washington's not going to be quick enough.
Yeah, I don't think PJ Washington guards him. I think he's more.
Derek Jones Jr.
He definitely can't guard him.
Too big.
So I don't know.
Exum maybe.
I guess I don't know who they're going to put on him. I really don't. I no one in the world can guard Kyrie.
No, Mike Conley's going to have to guard him.
Mike Conley's probably going to have to guard him. I mean, Mike Conley's a good defender, but Kyrie's the next level.
Yeah.
So that was a good game. I had Ant over 28.5, which I don't think he got.
Finished with 18.
Yeah, 18, which is whatever they won. And I also had the Timberwolves plus 4.5. So they covered that, obviously. And then earlier today, the Pacers and Knicks played their game 7. Pacers were up pretty big. They ended up winning. But what happened with Jalen Brunson?
Fractured his hand.
Yeah, fractured his hand. What, in like the third?
I think early fourth.
Yeah, early fourth. So I mean, without Jalen Brunson, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs probably. So that's a tough loss. But looking forward, they're playing the Celtics. That's going to be an interesting series. Celtics handled the Cavs pretty easily, but the Cavs really have no one other than Mitchell.
Yeah, they just didn't have the firepower. And Darius Garland was off. And I think I said he would have had to average like 25. He was probably averaging like 17 throughout that series.
Right. He had to go. He had to go off for them, and he had spurts. I think in that game 2 that they won, or whatever game they won, he played really well. But they just looked bad on offense. But Pacers moved the ball well. They have Miles Turner, Halliburton. Like, I think they're a pretty good team. I still think the Celtics are a better team, but I'm gonna hot take Pacers in 7.
The Pacers won the conference semifinals 4-3 against.
Oh, so now we know how Tyler does all his analysts. He just uses Siri.
That's literally never happened before. Celtics in 5.
Celtics in 5. Okay, I don't know.
I think whoever comes out of the East will lose to whoever comes out of the West.
I agree. I think that's been a trend recently for sure.
But the Celtics should probably be the favorites to win the championship right now, based on their makeup. They're the number 1 seed in the East.
Yeah, Celtics are the best team.
Yeah.
Yeah, on paper for sure. They have the most options in terms of scoring. The effort to me when I watch the Celtics play is just not there.
There's something about them I don't love.
I don't love the Celtics either. I don't love the Jalen the J combo. I don't love Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
See, I like Jaylen Brown. I can't. Something about Jason Tatum. It's like he should be. I feel like he should be like second or third best player in the world. He's just not.
Yeah, he has his spurts, but if he's not knocking down the 3, he's pretty guardable. But I don't know. I like Indiana in 7. So you got Celtics in 5. I got Pacers in 7. Mavs and T-Wolves. I'm going to take the T-Wolves in 6.
I don't think the Mavs can beat them.
What seed was the Mavs? Are they a higher seed than T-Wolves?
5th seed.
So 3. I think T-Wolves are 3 seed.
Yeah.
3 versus 5. I mean, that means T-Wolves have home field advantage. So if I have them in what did I say, 6? They have to win at Dallas. But I don't know. Yeah, I like T-Wolves in 6.
What is it? 2-3-2, or is it?
It's
2-2,
2-2-1-1. Yeah, 1-1-1.
Yes, they get one in Dallas.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's big. I like that matchup, and then we'd have a Wolves Pacers matchup for me, Wolves Celtics matchup for you. But yeah, anything else in the playoffs?
Potentially, two teams win a championship that have never won a championship. Pacers haven't won an NBA championship, and neither have the Timberwolves.
Mavs have. Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to see that. It's been a good NBA playoff so far. I think it's been really, really competitive, fun to watch. My only beef is the late games.
Yeah, that's the worst part. Great game just now, though.
Yeah,
Game
great
7.
game. Great game, game 7. So moving on, we have to talk about this. Our resident fact checker was talking to me on the phone about what good deals you can get at this thing called the exchange. And I don't know if you guys know what the exchange is, but it's very much a military gas station type thing, grocery store where they have like liquor, groceries, dog food, all that stuff. And he was like telling me all about this exchange. And I was like, Bryce, I'm in the Army, right? So that was a funny statement. I thought I just had to bring that up. And then another bold statement that we talked about that I think you guys need to know is Tyler was talking about his best man speech at Drew's wedding and said it is widely regarded as the best man speech. So, I mean, I wasn't there. Sorry, Drew. But I don't know if it's widely regarded. I'm not saying that a certain one is, but I think he just made that up in his head.
I can tell you confidently, 4 people think it's the best one.
Okay. All right.
Me, Drew, Casey, and I was going to say Marissa, but I think she thinks Corey's speech at Wes's was the best one.
That's fair. That's a fair point. So I just thought that was a bold statement to go ahead and say yours is the best man speech, but whatever. And then also with that, I learned that he had a little bit of help. I think Tyler has a ghostwriter in his speeches.
Oh my God.
Because I was
someone
proofread, and then Marissa, who is the proofreader, said that the term proofread may not actually describe what happened there. So Tyler's no better than Drake.
Oh my God.
Just got a ghostwriter for his speeches. So really we can't even give him that title because he didn't even earn it. Marissa maybe had the best man speech.
Oh my God. If people start thinking Marissa wrote my speech, I will be infuriated.
It's not thinking, it's proven fact.
You see what you did?
You would have had to give her writing credits on your album.
No, absolutely not.
It
You have
sounds
to
like
contribute a certain amount. She contributed one line about Drew being fat.
Oh man, you hear that, Drew? Marissa thinks you're fat. That's funny. So that's about all we have for you guys. We'll probably wrap it up. I wanted to talk about one thing. Do you have any pet peeves that you want to get off your chest? I have one while you think. Pet peeve for me is when my iPhone, I type in wheel, like WE''LL, and it always autocorrects it to well. And it looks like I don't know how to use the term. Big pet peeve. Hate when that happens.
I'll kind of piggyback on that with an autocorrect thing. It's only on the work wholesale phone. It's an Android, and it always autocorrects got, GOT, to get, GIT, which makes no fucking sense. It's like not American English. I think it's under like English standard, like British English, and I don't know how to change it.
Somebody that had the phone before you said, go on get a bunch of times.
Absolutely infuriating.
Yeah, autocorrect in general, like some things when I'm typing fast, I want it to autocorrect, but other times when I type it specifically right and then it changes it to something wrong,
Like
makes me very mad.
when am I ever gonna want to say duck?
Yeah, right. When I want to put fuck, like I mean fuck.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So But with that, we'll probably end it right here. We might try and do another midweek episode for you guys, so you don't kill yourselves on your way to work. You can hear our lovely voices.
We need to get the midweek views up a little bit. The midweek ones trend a little lower. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, but not too many of your friends. We're not ready for a full launch yet.
Yeah, we'll get there. We're starting the Twitter page, starting the YouTube channel.
Get some content, some other content.
Get some content out there.
It is Sammy and Marissa's husbands. Maybe we'll talk about our wives one of these episodes, but
that'd be nice if they listen.
But the old bags don't want to listen. So
the old bags. All right. Well, you guys have a lovely rest of your day at work tomorrow. Peace.
One take is good.